Hey guys, welcome back to Toku Week 2, Day 4. I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
the Cinder Blaze.
And Makotoa.
Boys! You guys just finished the Kyuranger movie. I have finished it a long time ago, and I'm gearing up to rip into this. Now, to keep in mind, we are recording this before the final episode of Kyuranger, so we don't have any of those thoughts bleeding in. So this is some pre-Kyuranger thoughts. Boys, what did you think?
This was definitely a Sentai movie. It's one of those where they kind of like shoehorn in a villain that doesn't really belong anywhere, not even its own series.
This movie doesn't belong anywhere.
But
it belongs in the trash.
It did have some good moments.
I did like that we had some like random team compilations, just a little bit, where we had like Gold, Silver, and Espada on a team, even though they got 0 screen time for their side.
Yeah, like I don't know if you could count that as a team comp if they didn't accomplish anything as a group. You know?
Okay.
No, my favorite one was the Lucky Garu one.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry to do this, but I just wanted it so bad.
It was. Gosh. It never becomes less awkward to watch that. To watch him transform. He didn't even ask either. He's just like, here, doggy. Like, get on the leash.
Well, it wasn't like that. Well, Garu like thoroughly enjoyed that, being sit on by Lucky.
Oh yeah. But I hated this movie.
You know why I knew you hated this movie? The minute there was a moment at the beginning that I was like, okay, so this is why he hates this movie. And I remember it distinctly. It was when they had the the entire lineup of everyone ready to go, and they had like their helmets off with their suits on, except for Raptor. And
that was not it.
She was waving them goodbye. I was like, oh, this is why Corey obviously hates this movie, because Raptor's the one left behind.
Hold on, shut up. That's not the reason why, because like we saw in the previews that was happening, and I already had my gripes, and I already knew it was gonna happen. So the reason I didn't like this movie was because they teased us at the beginning that, oh shoot, Sho is gonna die. What are the ramifications? Turns out there are none!
Well, I mean,
absolutely none!
What were you really expecting? He wasn't really gonna die. Come on.
No,
that made Hammy cry. That's.
But at the same time, yeah, like the way they explained nothing in this movie.
Yeah,
was
you think it would be you give it at least a little bit of explanation, like and you guys mentioned this right before we started this, because Alex was watching it. I don't know if you wanted to pull up your own quote.
No. There's other things we need to do first, because before he comes into play. One thing for sure, the thing that knocked me out of the movie, and it wasn't even when Sho starts like floating off into space like while flailing around. It wasn't even that. The thing that knocked me out of the movie was when you had Stinger and frickin' Champ and Hammy. That's right. All three of them were in this snow region, and then suddenly a building falls on top of them with a crowd full of children and random people, and then they just start having a freaking like boxing tournament or whatever.
See, at that point,
wrestling. Okay.
At that point, I had resolved to.
But nobody. They just fell. It just nothing, and then they just went with it. I don't know what.
At that point, this movie was moving so quickly. I was just like, oh, this is happening now. Well, sure. I'm just gonna go along with it. Like we are moving at breakneck speeds.
Why was this one so elaborate when all we got with like the Espada Espada gold and silver team up was them transform, start to fight briefly, and then immediately cuts away, and by the time we're back they're already like dying.
Well, that's because he was the main villain, so you can't really expect him to actually do anything productive in that situation.
You've got half an hour to make these 3 different, like, each with their enough material for probably their own episode, crammed into that tiny little slot. That was not going to get enough time.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know, for like the wrestling person and that one Indaver that was like, racing around. Like that was enough time for both of those characters. But like the main villain had like this kind of like tie with show, and they barely go into it. He's like, "You betrayed me," and all we see is like him being taken away, and he's like, "You were doing evil things."
You were researching it for evil. You need to You betrayed me. And then he's like, what was he yelling as he was being dragged away? I didn't do anything wrong.
Except for evil. He didn't even deny that it was evil stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. He's like, no, I was looking for a weapon to defeat dark matter. And he's like,
real betrayer here? Like,
are we to assume that thing that he was researching was the Geth star?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Like, I don't, like, was that even it? Nothing was really explained. Things happened, lots of explosions.
Why did they even need that Q-Tama? Like, what would that, like, give him the power to do? Destroy planets? He's got a Geth star.
Yeah! What the... It was
Seriously.
entirely pointless.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember. There was
no.
There was another part. I don't even.
Did it have to do with like the Geth Star at all?
It was a part where they this whole movie is a blatant like rip off of like Star Wars in some ways. But there was a part where they had a line of dialogue that like made some kind of. It was a complete. What was it? Did you
tell
guys
us.
read it? It said like A New Hope.
Oh yeah.
It's been a while.
Oh yeah, I guess you wouldn't. Alex probably noticed it though.
Yeah, that was like towards the end.
Yeah.
Like that didn't really bother me too much because everything else in the movie did.
That could have been predicated on like the suburbs too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But because sometimes they throw in references, like on Toku, Pink was saying one thing, but they translated it entirely different just for the sake of a joke. I was like, I think I can. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But there's this nagging thing, like an overall thing about this movie that I sort of wanted to get you guys' thoughts on. Now, again, this is coming from a perspective that hasn't seen the final episode of Kyuranger, so keep that in mind. But I thought that this movie sort of serves as like a good display of what Kyuranger sort of was to me specifically. Like, you start off with this neat concept, but then we move at breakneck speeds, throw in all these concepts nearly haphazardly, and then we end up with a conclusion that is what always happens. We end up at the same place that any other Sentai movie would have ended up.
Yeah, and honestly, for like other Sentai movies, like the first one that comes to mind is like the Gokaiger one. Like, I don't remember like how bad that was. It probably was really bad. But
which one?
The one with the Blackbeard pirate in space.
Oh, the Death Ship? Yeah.
Yeah. And where they had like jealous shit though. The ship's prison. Like, that was really nice, and it was like able to be self-contained. This one, I felt like it had too much, like, backstory involving, like, Sho, and, like, it had too much potential to be, like, an actual arc, or, like, a mini arc in the series itself, that it couldn't really take it as, like, a movie experience, you know? Like, for movies, I kind of expected to, like, be, like, a brief, like, blip from the canon, even though this technically could be canon.
Yeah.
This just,
really could. Like, this could have been just another episode in there, just, like, super squeezed together. It would have been a better two-part at least.
No,
if they decided to make this, like, a Garu-focused arc in the actual series and give him the Cerberus Q-Tama as a power-up.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. That would be amazing.
Oh, my gosh. And he would be, that'd be the power-up for the second-hand man that isn't Tsurugi.
Yeah, he would be Devils, you know, or not Devils, but like the Hellhound. Or,
that would have been so cool. Now I'm full of regrets.
Not just that. It would perfectly even out the Megazords, because
oh my god,
so far all we have right is or like when you form all the Megazords, you have 3 left over: Raptor, and then Balance and Naga, right? If you lump if you lump those 3 into the Cerberus Zord, the Cerberus already takes care of like 2 of the arms. I don't know if like you could move them around and have them be arms, but takes care of the legs, and then you can snap in Raptor as the wings, and everyone has a place. Everyone has a place to be. Lucky gets whatever his regular one is, and then like 3 of them are in regular Kyurano. It bothered me.
Yeah, that I mean, I really liked the look of the Cerberus Q-Tama too.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind owning that.
Also, this is one of the few instances where we see like champ wrestling actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like, why is this in a movie that actually belongs in the main series?
Yeah.
Oh wait, one more point on Cerberus. I love how the dude pronounces it, because it doesn't sound like Cerberus. It's like Kilperius. It's so cool.
Oh my goodness, that did stand out to me as well. Because at first I couldn't tell if it was the same voice actor until he said the second part of that, Q-Tama or whatever, where he said Q-Bear, something Q-Tama. When he said the Q-Tama part, I was like, okay, that's the right guy. But at first, I was like, that sounded so vastly different. I don't know.
Yeah. I liked it. It sounded cool.
It sounded really cool. Speaking of Q-Tama, how do you guys like the part where Lucky freaking rips his own giant Q-Tama out of his ship?
Oh,
I like that actually.
Throws it into the Cerberus one.
With the help of that other savior, that other one.
Which, like, honestly, because of the context of when this came out, I totally forgot that he was like gonna make an appearance.
I know.
If he wasn't like, if he had been already at the beginning of this, I was like, oh yeah, this must have been this part of the series. But no.
No, I have a feeling it was in that area where they weren't like, he wasn't necessarily like in the team.
Oh. Yeah,
but then he just sort of helped out like he was part of it's the dumbest thing.
Him coming out of nowhere like that though just threw me off.
And how nonchalantly he did it, because like, it's your home world. Why aren't you stepping in to stop this? Why aren't you like?
Okay, here's how I interpreted what happened with Tsurugi. So they go to that planet. Tsurugi's still like chilling in the base because it's not really, he's more concerned about doing his own things, at that point. So then they come back and there's like, Sho died. And he's like, what happened? Well, this dude shot him and he started drifting into outer space. And then now we're here, and he's like, "Oh,
you mean this guy that I picked up?"
No, he's like,
"Oh my god!"
So he's still in space, right? He's like, "Yeah, he's probably dying right now." Oh man, we're huge failures as saviors. And he's just like,
no one else decided. Oh, hey, maybe we should pick up his body.
No, and then I mean, the explanation at the end when he said that he was just kind of swimming through space when Tsurugi picked him up, like, Naga was like, he's lying. But, so who knows, honestly, I think they don't care to explain at all.
Yeah.
This movie didn't seem to matter much to them, concept-wise.
No,
they threw continuity out the window for a lot of, like, random stuff happening.
Yeah.
This was such a nothing movie, and it could have been. The problem was it dangled us with a something concept, and then we ended up with nothing.
Yeah. Hey, but
like, don't do that.
The finisher was also pretty neat. Having the Earth be a Tama and just be shooting.
What?
Just turning into like a rocket, just shooting whatever.
A whole Tama. Okay.
Also, the way that they saved like the world from the Geth Star.
The world. No.
First off, it just knocks away the moon from its orbit, which would probably already kill us.
Yes,
also, it's close enough and large enough that its gravitational pull would also kill us. But what it prompts our heroes to do is to grow at an exponential rate, crush everything beneath them. But when we get a shot at their feet, they barely like fit a city in like Japan. So it's like, wait, there's something super wrong with the scale here. I mean, I'm being super nitpicky for a kids show, but that was just
no, that was really
like
stupid. Like, their feet are still apparently on Japan, but when you zoom out to the rest of the world, it kind of had them a little bit like lower than Japan. Yeah. I mean, that continuity wasn't the important thing I was worried about. I was more like worried about the people that he was crushing. The thousands, right? Like,
yeah.
And then, you know, that part where the freaking where after he pushes the Geth Star away, he uses the boosters on the feet to lift off from the planet. I feel like if him stepping on people didn't kill them, the thrusters did.
For real.
Like,
completely eviscerate. I mean, like, at least Zyuohger had the decency when they shot the moon to leave the particles up there. But here, destroyed the moon, and then stomped on the motherland.
I mean,
Zyuohger only knocked out a piece of it.
Well, I'm even besides that. Remember the ending of the ending of Zyuohger had like that giant like line coming from the enemy ship all the way down into the earth that they kind of like toppled or whatever.
Yeah. Also, I don't think they really went back to all those people that the Cerberus Tama, or not Tama, but Zord destroyed. You know, like, it was going around shooting lasers and just destroying the entire the city, and like they don't really. I mean, they do care because they do go out and like try to stop it, but like they don't really remorse after any of the deaths. Just
like you keep bringing things up, and I keep forgetting this all tried to happen within the span of half an hour.
Yeah,
this was too ambitious. They didn't have nearly enough time.
Yeah,
I don't even think they had nearly enough budget. Did you see the main villain's costume looked like it was someone doing a cosplay?
I'm not gonna lie, that's the exact thought I thought when I saw him. When I saw him, I was like, that guy looks like he's from Warframe.
Oh, well, you know that one blue villain? I feel like he was an old costume that they just kind of like gave a coat to, and
kind of like the Black Cross King.
You talking about the monkey dude?
Jeez. Yeah. I feel like that monkey was like reused from a previous series. They just like added some other stuff on the outside. Because like, I feel like his costume was probably the most detailed out of all of them.
I was quite disappointed by Sho in this. Actually, like his little face off with the villain in the end. He did not.
It was.
Once I got there, I was fully expecting it to just
end.
To happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was so over it after a while.
Yeah.
What about the part where the world becomes a Q-Tama?
Like this.
But before
the movie caught me so off guard with how bad it was. How just genuinely bad.
I actually laughed really hard at that part. I loved it. When the world actually becomes a Q-Tama with the thruster. Like, at that point, I was so detached, I couldn't care less about hating it. I was just like, all right, let's go.
But there's also, like, a problem with, like, the entire series as a whole. You know, where they... Like, the Earth becoming a Q-Tama and, like, doing some crazy shit like that. Not exactly like that, because that's kind of stupid. But that would be awesome for, like, a finale. But there's, like, nothing to actually lead up into it. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, turns out the world was a Q-Tama the whole time.
Yeah.
And then we all pilot Kyureno.
Yeah.
Ganbatte Kyuranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay. Well, I think we're good now. We've eviscerated this movie enough. Hey! You guys are in the future. Tell us what you thought about this in context of the whole series in the comments down below. And don't forget, this is Toku Week 2. So tomorrow we're going to be covering our full series review of Kyuranger. So be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Keep it juicy.
See ya.
Later.